Ramakatha Rasavahini, Prema Sudhamritavahini, Sathya Sanatani Dharma Swarupini, Shanti Pradayini Mokshakarini, Ramakatha Rasavahini, Ramakatha Rasavahini.
Oh. Oh. Sai Ram, everyone. Just to recollect where we are in the study of Ramakatha Rasavahini. We are in chapter 4 of Ramakatha Rasavahini, where Swami is talking about the birth of the children for Dasharatha. We have gone past the naming ceremony. The last week, what we discussed was about the suffering of Lakshmana and Shatrughna, not having the company of Rama or Bharata respectively. Mother Sumitra was given the advice by sage Vasishta to take Lakshmana and leave him with Rama and Shatrughna with Bharata. And from that day, they were growing up with their brothers, and Mother Sumitra was looking after them just like a maid, not having the privilege of being a mother. And then the last paragraph which we read was about Mother Kaushalya, how she was with Rama. And we discussed a lot about the evil eye and so on, Drishti, how she was doing a ritual to remove that after anyone visited Sri Rama. I think that's what we discussed last week. We will just read the same slide once and then we can move on. Sai Ram. Ron, I think you may have to do it today also if you are around.
Sai Ram, I can do it.
Yes.
All right. The maids, as well as many kinsmen of the royal family, derived great joy watching the children at play. After they left, Kausalya used to insist that rites to ward off the evil eye were performed scrupulously. She was so affectionate and considerate towards the children that she never recognized the passage of day and the arrival of night, or the passage of night and the dawn of a new day. She could not leave them out of sight even for the fraction of a second. While taking her bath, or when she was engaged in worship inside the shrine, her mind was on them, and she would hasten towards them as quickly as feasible. All her work she did in a hurry, so that she could spend more time on their care.
Thank you very much, Ron. Would anyone like to discuss any of the points coming from here, or if everyone is okay, we can proceed with the next slide. So I guess no one has anything, so we will move on. Yes.
One day she bathed Rama and Lakshmana. She applied fragrant smoke to their curls in order to dry them and perfume them. She carried them to the garden to the golden cradles. She sang sweet lullabies and rocked them to sleep. When she found that they had slept, she asked the maids to keep watch, and she went into her rooms and prepared the daily food offering to God in order to complete the rites of worship. She took the golden plate of food and offered it to God. Some time later, she went into the shrine in order to bring the plate out and give a small quantity of the offering to the children. What was her surprise when she found in that room, before the altar, Rama was sitting on the floor with the offering before him, eating with delight the food she had dedicated to God. She could not believe what her own eyes told her. Kausalya wondered, "What is this I see? Do my eyes deceive me? Is this true? Can it be true? How did this baby, which was sleeping in the cradle, come to the shrine? Who brought it hither? She ran towards the cradle and peeped into it, only to find Rama asleep therein. She assured herself that hers was but delusion. She went into the shrine to remove from there the vessel of payasam she had placed before the idols. She found the vessel empty. How could this be, she wondered. Seeing the child in the shrine might well be a trick of the eye. But what about the vessel being empty? How could that be an optical illusion? Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Ron. Auntie, shall we read, Auntie?
Yeah, okay, sure. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Auntie.
ఒకనాడు రామలక్ష్మణులకు స్నానము చేయించి పొగలు వేసి బంగారు తొట్టల్లో పరుండబెట్టి
One day, she gave bath to Rama and Lakshmana, and
పొగలు
she put fragrant smoke to dry their hair, and also put them to bed in the golden cradle.
తానే స్వయముగా పాట పాడి ఉయ్యాలు నూపి పిల్లలు నిద్రించగానే దాసీలకు పిల్లలను చూచుకొమ్మని తెలిపి లోనికి వెళ్ళి
She herself sang lullaby, and she rocked the cradle and made them fall asleep. And she asked the maids to watch them, and she went to the shrine.
పాయసము కాచి పూజ గదికి తీసుకొని పోయి నైవేద్యము గావించెను.
She made payasam, and she went and offered it as naivedya.
మరి కొంతసేపటికి నైవేద్య ప్రసాదం తమ పిల్లలకు కొంత పెట్టవచ్చునని
So after some time, she thought she could feed these children with the naivedya prasadam.
బంగారు గిన్నె తీసుకొని పూజ గదిని ప్రవేశించగానే
So she took them in a golden cup, and when she entered the shrine room,
నైవేద్యముంచిన పాత్రను ముందు పెట్టుకొని జుర్రు కొలుచున్న బ్రాహ్మలను చూచెను.
So she saw, in keeping the naivedya vessel in front of him, Rama eating it.
ఆమె కన్నులను ఆమెయే నమ్మలేకపోయినది.
She could not believe her eyes.
ఇది నిజమా లేక భ్రమయా?
Is this a fact or is it an illusion?
తొట్లెందు నిద్రించున్న బాలుడు ఇచ్చటికి ఎట్లా వచ్చెను?
My child who is sleeping in the cradle, how did he come here?
ఎవరు తెచ్చిరి?
Who brought him?
అని పరుగడిపోయి తొట్లలో చూడ
Saying this, she ran back to the cradle and looked into the cradle.
గాఢ నిద్రలో ఉన్న రాములను చూచి ఇది నా భ్రాంతి అని తనలో తాను సర్దుకొని
So she saw the Rama who was deep asleep and thought that this is my illusion, wild imagination, and saying that
పాయసము గిన్నెలో వేసుకొనుటకై పాత్రను చూడ
she thought she will fill the cup she was carrying with the payasam, and she went and saw the vessel.
పాత్రలో పాయసము గరిటెడైనను లేకపోవుట చేత
So there was absolutely nothing left in the vessel, vessel of payasam.
నాట్ ఈవెన్ ఏ స్పూన్ గరిటెడ.
Not even a spoon. Not even one spoon.
కౌమారుని చూచినది భ్రాంతి కావచ్చును కానీ
Even though the sight of seeing Rama could have been a delusion or illusion,
పాయసము లేకపోవట భ్రాంతి ఎట్లగును?
how can it be an illusion that the payasam itself is gone?
అని ఒకవైపు ఆశ్చర్యము, మరొక వైపు సంశయము. ఆమె ఐ థింక్ హ్యాస్ నాట్ రెడ్ ఇట్.
I think, yeah, not everything, but we'll just complete the sentence.
Okay.
On one side, there was a surprise. On the other side, there was a doubt.
ఆమెను ఉక్కిరి బిక్కిరి చేసెను.
It basically confused her.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Sai Ram.
Okay, Sai Ram. So Sai Ram, everyone. So this is one of the Bala Leelas of Rama, a divine play. Swami is giving a glimpse of one experience of Kaushalya. So I will open it up for discussion. Anyone would like to discuss anything? I guess everyone is whether they're surprised and wonderstruck, or I think there's nothing much to discuss here. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Paraman, I was just going to draw similarities between how Swami's brother Seshama Raju also saw Swami. In the Virupaksha temple, he sees Swami on the outside. He tells him to take care of all the baggage and everything, and they'll go have darshan inside and come. And when he goes on the inside, he sees Swami standing in the sanctum sanctorum. And then he is in doubt again and he says, how come Sathya is here? I told him to take care of the thing outside. Let me go and check. And when he goes outside and checks there, he still sees Swami there. So you can just see how much of that mirrors in this episode. So just wanted to add that. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Rohit.
Sai Ram uncle. Actually, it's pretty amazing that episode that the Sai Satish just mentioned, because if you think about it, in Virupaksha temple, it's two things about that place. One is it's where Kishkinda was supposed to have been, Hampi, which is the birthplace of Lord Hanuman. And also, if one goes to that place, I was there in 2019. Yeah, 2019. And I had gone there. There is actually a 11-foot ancient idols of Lord Rama, Lord Lakshmana, and Mother Sita carved out of the stone, black stone there in near the Virupaksha temple right there. And um, uh, I don't know I couldn't find out the origin of those idols, but it's very, very old. So it's a deep rooted historic place connected to Ramayana. And it's actually amazing that Swami performed that Leela there, and which is so similar to what Lord Rama had done in Treta Yuga. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Rohit. Thank you.
Sai Ram,
Yes, Auntie, please go ahead.
I would like to point out a small things in Sanskrit, Naivedyam and Prasadam. Usually people, I have offered prasad to the Lord. They say, but it's not correct. Naivedyam is the offering which you do. Then after offering, when it comes back to us, it is prasadam. So that should be clear, and most of you people know it, but still just an observation. Sai Ram.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Auntie. Yes, the Naivedyam comes from the root word in Sanskrit, Nivedana, which is offering. Thank you, Auntie. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, just one more point. One is says how Mother Kaushalya, she was constantly thinking of Rama, and independent of whatever activities she was doing, her mind was always filled with the thoughts of the children. And then that experience follows. So it also gives a guiding principle. How once the mind goes constantly thinking about it, then it also becomes a reality and experience as such. So it's a learning that we can say that if we keep thinking continuously, then that form also manifests to show. Of course, she had her child, but the omnipresent aspect also comes in. So just wanted to add that, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Beena, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, I just want to ask a question. Here it says that she placed before the idols. So I wonder the idol is Mahavishnu, or it is because they come from the Surya Vansha. It is the Pratima of the Surya being, because sometimes I see in the picture nowadays they depict that way. So if anyone can clarify that, it's Mahavishnu, or Mahavishnu behind it is like a Surya Vansha chakra. Sai Ram.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tina. I know Swami not really mentioned the exact, because see, Swami is telling, actually Swami has used, as Auntie said, Swami has used the word both Naivedyamu and Prasadam. Both words Swami has used.
Vena's question is Vishnu or Surya Bhagavan. Was it those idols? She's asking about that. Aruna, you're, I think you're
Yeah,
Okay.
Anna's
He's frozen.
connectivity. Yeah.
Auntie?
Andy, we lost Anna, we lost you. It looks like you had connectivity issues. Maybe you'll have to repeat.
Oh, I see. See, I think first I was telling about Naivedya Prasada. Swami is talking. Swami is used two words to. First, Swami says you keep Naivedyamu, Gavinchanu. Then he saying Naivedya Prasadamu Tamapillalu. So Naivedyam is now transformed into Prasadam, which he wanted to distribute to the children. But Swami is not mentioning any Vigraha in this. He just says he offered it. That's all Swami says. Puja and offered. So Swami has not mentioned any Vigraha itself in this. Because Swami says, Payasam kachi puja gadiki tisikoni poi naivedyam kavinchan. That she did puja and offered naivedyam only, Swami saying. Swami has not mentioned any Vigraha Aradhana here. I think in general, they feel that during the Ramayana's time, Vigraha Aradhana had not come into being in a big way. That was more something in the Dwapara Yuga or later on, is the view of many of the historians. I think the only mention of Rama doing anything was with Shivalingam. That's the only story we have. So I don't know, Bina. So it's slightly. Swami, even later on, he's saying, Patlam Gatri and Chura Komarani Chuchinadi Branti Kavach. Even later on, he's telling Rama also, Pravin Jagani, Naivedya Patra Mundu Patukuni. There also, he's not telling it. Rama is just putting the Naivedya Patra in front of him. It doesn't not necessarily talk about a Vigraha or an idol. That's what I would say. But I think in the English translation, that's what it says, I guess. No? It does not. Even in the English translation, it's not. No mention of Vigraha Bina, but generally, I think various traditions, people have said that Vishnu was worshipped by Rama, and that statue is now in Sri Rangam or something like that. Also, I think there are beliefs among the Vaishnavites. So I will just leave it at that.
It's a Ranganath Swami temple, right, Uncle?
Yes.
That's the lying Lord Vishnu on the snake.
Yeah, so I think.
Yeah.
So I think there are a couple of temples which say, they have the ancient Vigraha, worship by Rama and so on. Yeah, but Swami has not specifically mentioned Vigraha or form even.
At the end, she went into the shrine to remove.
Actually, Andy, before the idols, I think the only sense.
So before the idols. That's why she
But
asked.
does it in Telugu that doesn't say, Auntie? See, Swami says ప్రవచించగానే, then she's saying,
పాత్రలో పాయసము గరిటె లేకపోవటం కౌమార్ని చూచింది భ్రాంతి కావచ్చును కానీ లేకపోవడం.
yeah,
It is not here. It's not here.
yeah, even in the Telugu, the idols piece is not there
Ah.
because Swami is just saying that ani tanalo tane. It's just పాత్రలో పాయసము గరిటె. She basically పాత్రని చూడ. That's all Swami said. She went and saw the vessel.
Vessel, that's all.
And so in English, I don't know, they've added idols. I think that's not in.
Been asked.
Sai Ram, it's okay. I think it's more homework to do, but I
Yes.
think it should be Mahavishnu because most of the time, in a Satyuga and even in a Treta, the beginning, they worship the Mahavishnu. But I just wanted to know that it is anything mentioned about Surya Bhagavan as well or not. Sai Ram.
Yeah, no mention of anyone.
Okay.
See, I think at that time, the Vedas were worshipping at that time various deities like Agni Devata and so on. Mainly it was fire worship those days. So that's why Yajna itself, where the Agni Purusha comes and, delivers the payasam.
That was my next question anyway, Anna.
Yes.
Thank you,
So
Sai Ram.
because during these were Rigveda times, those times were such, and there was no specific mention of it was fire worship, Agnihotris. Even Krishna only is talking about Agnihotram only, even during the Dwapara Yuga. So I will stop there. So yes, Sister Vani, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, brother. So is there anything that here special about Kausalya's love towards Rama? I mean, any mothers would focus on their children, whatever chores that they do. But Kausalya is known for her unconditional and pure love towards Rama. Is there anything special that you should talk about or if you want to mention?
Yeah, I will. Okay, nice question, sister. How does Kausalya's love for Rama is? I think that's a question from Sister Vani. Yes, Brother Shankar.
I think Mother Kausalya is the best example of a dynamic parenting, what Swami has introduced in these days. No?
Thank you. Anyone else would like to? Okay, so maybe I will comment on it. I think, I don't know, we should have discussed this in the previous paragraph or the paragraph before that also, So where Swami is telling Kaushalya, even at the puja room, she was thinking of Rama. Okay. But I don't think she was thinking of Rama as divine at that time or God. During Ramayana, not many people even recognize except the rishis and maybe Hanuman and a few others like Shabari and so on. Again, Shabari was taught by her own guru. It's only the rishis who recognize Rama as divine. So the thing is, Kaushalya's attachment was as if her child. But I was reminded in Dharma Vahini, Swami is telling when you worship, when you are rocking a child, you should think of God. But when you are praying, you should not start thinking God is your child. Okay, so I will just leave it at that. So many of the mothers, even Yashoda and all of them, they had certain glimpses of divinity of their children, but at no point did they think, I don't think at any point they realized that they were divine, godly or incarnation of God. I think that's my understanding, Sister Vani. So they were just like ordinary mothers, but were blessed to have raised the avatar.
Yes.
Is what I would say. But in her, as Brother Shankar said, they were exemplary in their views, because Swami has told in many of the padyams, it's because of Kaushalya Rama is Rama. It's because of Ishwarama that Swami is Swami. So they were ideal mothers in many respects. So I will leave it at that, Sai Ram. Yes, Beena, please go ahead.
She was the ideal mother, as we can, even in a previous slide, last time we said about this Kaushalya's toward the drishti and all, and how she was taking care of children. But one thing here also it mentioned that she made Naivedyam herself, and that is also one of the trait that we all, she's exemplary in that case also, that all of us, Sanatani, all women, when we have to do Naivedyam, it's a pavitrata in a way. So we maintain this tradition, maintain this offering food, and make each of us, we maintain in our own house till today. And that's how she is also, that way also she's exemplary. Just wanted to mention that.
Thank you very much, Beena. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Ramana, I was just thinking, I think it's when a person is more selfless, that's when the self manifests. And we see in the case of the stories, like what you were saying about the padyam that Swami would say, how Mother Ishwarama was always asking for the others. She was asking, like we know, whether it was the well that she asked for, whether it was a small school that she asked for, or whether it was a hospital thing. Like everything that she was asking was for others, which clearly shows the selfless aspect. And here in Ramayana also, when we see earlier chapters, we have seen how in the case of, for the sake of Dasharatha's happiness, how Kaushalya sacrificed her own this thing to ensure, whether it was marrying Kaikeyi or many other things. So I was just coming to that part that I think that selfless aspect of these mothers made them as divine mothers. So that really that self could then be born to them. So just wanted to add that, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, if everyone is okay, then we will move on. Sai Ram, bro.
Thus she was torn between amazement and disbelief. She took hold of the vessel with the remnants of the offering and hastened to the cradle, stood watching the two babes. She could see Rama rolling something on his tongue and evidently enjoying its taste. She was amusingly watching his face when, lo, she saw the entire universe revolving therein. She lost all consciousness of herself and her surroundings. She stood transfixed, staring with dazed eyes on the unique panorama that was revealed. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Auntie Shalvi.
సాయిరామ్ ఒకవైపున ఆశ్చర్యము మరొక వైపున సంశయము ఆమెను ఉక్కిరి బిక్కిరి చేసెను.
So on one side, surprise and wonder, and on the other side, doubt was pulling her this side, that way and that way.
ఎటులను ఆ గిన్నెలలో కొంత ప్రసాదం ఉంచుకొని తొట్ల చెంత చేరి బాలుర నిద్రించు మోములో చూచుచుండెను.
So, however, in the small vessel which she had taken, she took a little bit of prasadam and she went to the cradle where the children were sleeping, and she was looking at their faces.
రాముడు చప్పరించుచు కన్నులు మూసుకొని లొట్టలు వేయుచుండా
So
Rama is
chapparinchu means
enjoy.
Yeah, it's something like a chewing also, is it, Auntie? Or
Yeah,
he was moving his mouth, but his eyes were closed, and she was literally
she was making that sound.
Yeah,
లొట్టలు.
some people, they clap their tongues when it's tasty. So Rama was doing it, closing his eyes.
కౌసల్య ఆశ్చర్యముతో చిరునవ్వులతో మోమును తిలికించుచుండ.
So Kaushalya was surprised again, and with a smile, she tilakinchuchunda. She saw. Auntie, did he apply
Watching him.
Okay.
తిలకించుచుండ. She was watching
His face. The face of Rama.
రాముని మొగమున ఒక నిమిషము బ్రహ్మాండమే తిరిగినట్టులా కనిపించెను.
So for a moment, she saw that the entire creation seemed to swing, on his face.
కౌసల్య దేహమునే మరచి,
the Kaushalya forgot her body.
కన్నులు విప్పి రెప్పలు ఆర్చగా, కన్నులు విప్పి రెప్పలు
She opened her eyes wide, and రెప్పలు
she did not share,
she did not blink her eyes. Eyelids. She did not blink her eyelids.
పిచ్చిగా చూచుచుండ.
As she had gone mad, and she was looking at it.
దాసిలుగా. Oh, that's not. He has not completed the sentence here.
It's not. No, Auntie. In English, it's not there. No, I think it's.
She saw the entire universe.
So that's there, Auntie. So go ahead. So I think the second part is not there, but anyway, we will read, Auntie, just for.
Okay. కౌసల్య దేహమునే మరచి, కన్నులు విప్పి రెప్పలు ఆర్చగా, పిచ్చిగా చూచుచుండుట దాసీలు గమనించి.
So the maids observed Kaushalya standing transfixed, forgetting her body, opening her eyes wide and not blinking, and she looked as if she was gone bit mad.
దాసీలు గమనించి అమ్మా అమ్మా అని అరచింది.
So the maids saw her like that, and then they called out her Amma, Amma.
Sai
Ram, thank you, Auntie. So I will stop here. Anyone who would like to discuss any of the points? Yes, Rohit.
Uncle, I have a technical question. So even in Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna showed Mother Yashoda the universe right inside his mouth, and the same thing Lord Rama did as well. So they say, so how there is that Shiva Shakti Tattva where Prakriti or Devi is known as the universe, as the nature or the creation around us. But here we are seeing it within, where God has taken as the male tattva, or the Purusha tattva has taken birth, because Lord Rama had Mother Sita, and Lord Krishna also had Devi in different form in Dwapar Yuga. So there was a separate form at the same time, but we are also seeing the universe within Lord Rama, which is the male form of the Parabrahman. So why this mix up? Isn't it supposed to be separate? That's my question. Thank you, Sai Ram.
So can you repeat the question again?
So you know how at the end of the day, everything in the universe is one. But from what we read about in the Shastras and the Vedas, how they mention that there is the Shiva Tattva and the Shakti Tattva, where Shiva is the supreme male godhead, and then and Shakti is the female, the Prakriti, the creation around us. And in Dwapar Yuga and Treta Yuga, the male form took birth as Lord Rama and Lord Krishna, and then the Devi form took birth as, Mother Sita, and then even you had Goddess Radha or Devi Rukmini in Dwapar Yuga. So there was a separation between the male and the female. So if the female is the Prakriti and the universe around us, how come Lord Rama, when having taken birth as the male form of the Parabrahman, was able to show the universe within when there was already Mother Sita separate from Lord Rama in this particular Leela of Bhagawan? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Rohit. Now so I will open it up for discussion. So I think anyone who would like to share what do you think? Yes, Shankarana, please go ahead.
Yeah, my thinking is even in Kali Yuga, Bhagavan has come as a Shiva Shakti Swarupa. So I think both Shiva and Shakti are same, and whether they can multiply themselves into different forms is also possible. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you very much, Anna. Anyone else would like to comment? Yes, Sai Satish, please go.
Dharamana, I think in terms of significance of this, usually we have in the food chain kind of a thing. If you see the small things taken or eaten by bigger things, if you walk down that path, everything is consumed by time and space. And the one who consumes time and space is God. And when Lord Rama shows the whole universe in his mouth, or when Lord Krishna shows the whole universe in his mouth, I would say it's more to show how the God principle as such, to show that here Mother Kaushalya is going and trying to place the food to the Lord, and that payasam she ultimately sees in Lord Rama's mouth, and in that fraction of a second he also shows who's the one who's sustaining the whole universe. And why in the mouth, again, the whole part is, of course, comes down to one who swallows time and space is God. And by showing the whole of Jagat, that is the entire transitory framework, I think that the message that can be drawn is that the whole of the transient or impermanent rests in the permanent. I would go with that as the message here. The Prakriti and Purusha, if we see in a larger framework, the Purusha is always covered by the Prakriti. So I would look at it more from the point of view of the former thing of time and space, because rather than how the Purusha and the Prakriti aspect, because in one sense, again, they are inseparable. From a physicality of things, we may call it as Rama and Sita being separate, but at the end of it, in a broader sense, always the Prakriti is just the wheel that covers the Purusha. So, but I'll pause here, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Ron, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, further to Rohit's question, what comes to my mind is that it has been said that maybe in the Vedas, but I'm not totally sure, that the manifest universe is only a small portion of God's glory. So to me, to have the whole entire universe within Bhagavan's mouth or in his face is an indication that he's so much more than all that is manifest. That's all, Sai Ram.
Thank you, Ron. Thanks. Anyone who would like to comment? Anyone else? maybe I will attempt. Um, Actually, Rohit, I think a few weeks, I would say, I think 7, 8 weeks. There was a discourse which we studied at our center. It was posted and studied. There, I think Swami answers this question. See, when the Lord takes avatar, he's actually joined Prakriti and come. And in that discourse, Swami says, Purusha is positive side, energy. Prakriti is negative. Only when these two come together, we will be able to make use of anything. So even God, if not for the Manusha Rupa he takes, we will not be able to connect and benefit from it. Swami gives the example of electricity. Only when the negative pole and the positive pole, they are connected, that you will have electricity and any of the appliances will function, electrical appliances. So the same way, for human beings to be able to connect to the Lord, a Prakriti aspect is immediate, necessary. So that is why in Sanatana tradition, the Vigraha Aradhana, worship of form itself is considered. The reality is the divine who is Satchit Ananda, unless he takes Nama and Rupa, no one in the world, we will not be able to connect to that Satchitananda. So Rama himself is actually Purusha and Prakriti combined. Then you can ask, what about Sita? Sita is also that. She is also Purusha and Prakriti. Because the Atman is the Purusha, the body which we don is the Prakriti. But in terms of explaining or demonstrating this to the world, Rama gave more visibility to Purusha aspect, whereas Sita gave greater visibility to the Prakriti aspect in its purest form. So then that also talks about us. Swami will say within us also there is Purusha. We also have a Prakriti. But the thing is, what happens is we are always in the world of Prakriti only without connecting to the Purusha. Even though the Purusha is in everyone else, because if the Purusha does not exist in us as Atman, we will not be able to function or be alive in this world. However, we are unable to tap into that Purusha Tattva within us also. But we are so caught up in the Prakriti. Not only we are caught up in the Prakriti, we are caught up in the impure portion of the Prakriti. Whereas Mother Sita exemplifies the purest form of Prakriti. And the purest form of Prakriti is always joined with the Paramatma. So Rama and Sita both had a Prakriti aspect to be the divine forms have come into the world. So everyone in this world is a Purusha Prakriti. Everyone is an avatar, Swami would say. However, we have not realized that we are avatar. That means we have the core which is Purusha or Atman, and we are unable to tap it, and we are not unable to demonstrate it. So to educate the world about this, how the Purusha aspect has to be connected, how it functions, and how the Prakriti in its purest form will always be able to attain the Lord, even our Suprabhatam Swami, it says, Sita Sati Sama Vishuddha Hridambujata Bhakvangana Karagrihita Supushpahara. Swami says there are women who are equal to Sita. They are waiting with garlands for the Lord, So that means all of us can become Sita. Because Sita shows us the perfect state for every human being who are more expressing the Prakriti aspect, and how by being in touch with our own the Purusha Tattva within us, we will be able to attain the Lord. So this is the demonstration. I hope, I think if you want, I will get you the discourse and share it with you. So there are not only one discourse, there are many discourses where Swami has talked about this. So I will stop here.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Aunty.
Actually, when the creation took place, Prakriti was taken, it's an inherent power in Purusha. It's not separate. It's inherent, just like in my body. If I were to show that my power is in my this thing's hands, it is inherent. I can't separate it and then show it to people. So it's not distinctly separate. It is inherent in Purusha when the creation took place. That's why Maya, we call it Maya. Prakriti or Maya, we can call it, because it was a part of that Purusha, which was the reason for creation, which became the reason for creation. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Aunty. Yes, Beena, please go ahead.
Sai Ram Aunty, very good point. I just want to add something in your point. Why it is what I think that because Prakriti has three gunas, that is Prakriti Swabhava is a Kriya, and Prakriti is Parichaya, it is its speed, Gati, and also its Prakriti's Niyam is also changing. So and that is why what you said that I think this is the because of the three gunas of the Prakriti, it is sustained that way, and it is ultimately it is not separate from the Purusha.
It's not
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Beena. Yes, Rohit.
Thank you, Uncle, for explaining that. So, just to one point that you were saying, how most of the people in this current world, and this is why Swami has come down to us to explain and educate us about what we are missing. So, you said that most of the people are completely living only in Prakriti and is blind towards the Purusha. So, would it be safe to say that because we are blind to the Atma or the Purusha, is why we get knocked around, in the sense like whatever, like we are at, in a way, the mercy of the universe, where we don't have the free will to change our situations or control, but at the best we can do is react to them? Would it be safe to say that that's why we are in this trap of Maya, so to say? Is that because we have lost sight of the Atma?
Yes, Rohit. That's what Swami's talk after discourse after discourse. Swami explains this only to us because we identify ourselves with the body, which is nothing but Prakriti, or the mind, which is also Prakriti. Yes, that's the reason. We don't realize that we are the Atman, and Swami wants us to. That's the first step in spirituality, to recognize that we are Atma, and it should become an experiential reality. And that's sadhana. Thank you. Yes, Sister Vani, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, brother, is there any significance of Rama showing his divinity at this point in stage to Kausalya, where he behaved like a human later on and not really showing his divinity to many people? But is there any significance showing this to Kausalya at this point in time?
Very, very nice question, sister. Why did Rama show, I think, is the question. And why did she not recognize the divinity at other times, except for a moment? What is the significance of that, and what are we to learn from that? Sister Vani's question, very nice question, sister. Anyone who would like to discuss anything related to this?
Sai Ram, this is probably a sort of blessing for Mother Kausalya. The Bhagavan has shown the vision to her. Similarly, what Yashoda had it from Krishna. That's what I'm thinking.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Anyone else? So, yes, Sanjay, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, I don't know. I think it's so we can read and rejoice in it today. Um, I mean, it would have had its own implications back then, but it's amazing even when we talk about Swami. Swami says, I give you my visiting cards, but sometimes we need so many visiting cards because very quickly the human mind is able to, uh, uh, you know, uh, I wouldn't use the word normalize, but kind of normalize and just go back to its routine. Um, but someday in the future, people will be reading and watching and listening about these leelas, and taking joy and getting inspired, um, towards a better path. Um, that's one aspect of it, but I'm sure there are other significance to it during Treta Yuga also.
Thank you very much, Sanjay. Yes, Sai Satish.
Ramana. So, even as we go through this incident itself, Mother Kaushalya is seeing it happen in front of her eyes. She is surprised and she is in doubt. So you can see what is happening right in front of her eyes. For such a pious person as Mother Kaushalya, for her itself, as it is happening, it is surprise and a doubt, which shows the extent to which the mind or Maya can influence, even as you're seeing it happen, which clearly states how Swami talks about what is constant integrated awareness. And somebody having to be continuously in that state, only then can what comes as a glimpse of divinity becomes essencing divinity as a continuum. Because again and again, it is the mind that comes as a wheel, and the same Mother Kaushalya who has seen it at that instant itself, she was having both surprise and doubt. Of course, many times later, she would have still pondered about it and so on. But at the same time, as life threw so many challenges to her and Lord Rama had to leave to the forest, she goes through the same pangs of separation, though she had those experiences, which only tells us that those are beautiful instances like what Sanjay Anna was saying, for the mind to chew upon, but then how much do we keep chewing upon it? Like Swami would say, how the cow, it eats everything, then it has to bring the cud and it has to chew on the cud. And the more it chews on the cud, then it stays. So it's the mind looking at it as an incident and making that incident as a continuum so that the experience stays as a long lasting thing. Even as it brings joy to the mind, we know this happened time and again. And if we extrapolate it, the same thing, it has happened yuga after yuga. And then can we go to an extent like what you were saying a little while ago as well, like each of us is an avatar, what Swami says, everyone is God. So can we see that kind of have that kind of a feeling when we see each other? I'm not saying in terms of the experience, but then in several cases, Swami has said, like, you think that doing Padaseva to my feet, you feel happiness because you feel it is my feet. But if every feet you consider as Swami's feet, then it will change. So likewise, if we can expand that experience to every person, then it moves away from being a fleeting incident or a memory to a continuum. But I'll pause here. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Yes, Sitaram. Sitaram has come to speak.
Sai Ram,
Yeah.
Sai Ram. So, thinking about that question, why did he show at this point? I think obviously the answer is there is no reason for love, there is no season for love. We cannot understand the reasons on why God does something, but still applying our limited minds. I think we have all studied in one of the discourses, for our study circles, Swami quotes a padyam about Kausalya, telling the importance of mother, where he starts off with Kausalya Devi, saying, Kausalya Sati Sukti, Garbhamautan Kada, Ramudu Demudai Ramani Kanche. Which means, isn't it because of Mother Kausalya bearing the child in her womb, Rama shone bright with fame as God? And he goes on with other examples like Sita Mata, and Kusha and Lava, and Jijabai, and so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
Ji.
And in the end, he mentions that Prani Kotiki Evida Parimalinche, for all the crores of living beings, the spreading of fragrance in this manner, Aharahambu Brochadi Atma Kante, the Atma which protects and saves every day. Ada Rambagu Vastuvi Avani Galada. Is there any better support than that on this earth, which is Mother? Amma Pradamaksharambe Adyaksharambu. The first sound Amma is the original unperishable principle, which is Atma. So I think because if you see every avatar that we have seen, every avatar that we talk about, including Swami's, there is a lot of gratitude that avatar shows towards Mother. For example, if you take this instance where Rama is showing entire universe in a second and taking it off like Maya, and same thing Krishna has done, and same thing probably Swami would have done to Ishwarama. What I understand from this is how should a devotee be? He's showing that as a son, you have borne me for 9 months and you have did that seva to me, and how can I not give you what I am? And he has shown what he is for a moment, which is actually the highest thing that so many rishis do penance for years and years to get that glimpse, but without any effort, without any prayer, God has just granted them that darshan of his entirety. I think it is more of gratitude as a son to a mother, which Swami has kind of shown throughout his life. We have seen that throughout his life. Why did Swami just stay in Parthi when he had the capacity of running across the world just for mother's word? So I think it is gratitude that Swami is reminding us here, is what I felt as I was listening to the answers. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sitaram. Anyone else would like to share anything? So maybe I will add my little piece to this. I'll start with what Sitaram started with in his answer. Love has no reason, no season. What it basically means is love transcends reason and transcends season, which means love is always present. So God's love is also always present. The God is continuously distributing visiting cards. Sometimes we don't notice that He is giving a visiting card. And when we are open to it through some sadhana, that day we will get a glimpse of it. What I am seeing here is that day, when did she have all this experience? After she finished her puja. So that day she must have been so uh, so engrossed in divine thought that she opened her ability to witness the Lord. It's not that she did something else and came and saw this. Just after puja that she saw this. So she had an experience just because of her puja. So which also, I think Sai Sasish also earlier mentioned that she was always thinking of Rama. But in this case, she was doing puja. And there she had this experience. So that means any form of sadhana can open our eyes to the divinity present. And Rama, of course, he's also Leela Nataka, and he would have done some extra, help for her to understand. But unfortunately for Kaushalya, Rama didn't tell, I am God, I am Avatar. So you can't blame her too much that she didn't realize it at other times. But sometimes I look at some of these people who have been along beside the avatar throughout their life. We are very, very lucky. We have seen Swami who has declared that he's an avatar. So we had a greater opportunity and knowledge given by the Lord to see him as divine. And all of us also would have had some experience where Swami would have revealed his divinity. All of us will have our own share of visiting cards. I think our lot is worse than Kaushalya. Because Kaushalya did not have the privilege we had. Mother Yashoda didn't have the privilege we had. But we had the privilege. We have been given the knowledge by the Lord. So actually, we should pity ourselves if we cannot hold on to that thought at all times. The reality is the Lord is always there for us to experience. When suddenly we go to a bhajan and, we will shed tears and we will, remember Swami and we'll be engrossed in devotion. When we come out, we forget everything and we are back into the world. So I think we have more responsibility. We have been placed much greater degree. That we have the knowledge. Swami took so much pain to teach us. So I think we need to know, we need to not let go of that thought. We need to be able to see his presence everywhere. We need to be in the constant integrated awareness of Swami's divinity and Swami's presence all around us at all times. So I think that is very, very important. So that's what I am taking from this. Mother Yashoda, poor, she just saw a sign. No one was there to explain. But here Swami explained it to us, and it is our responsibility. What we have got is much far greater, and we should make good use of it. Sai Ram. Yes, Sister Vani, please go ahead.
You answered my next question as well. But Swami said in Satyam Shivam Sundaram that, in other avatars, people get drawn only after the avatar has finished its purpose. But in his avatar, people will come and realize that he's divine, and at the same time as Swami was on this earth. So I think, as you said, we are lucky, but we are still into this Maya.
You're lucky because of the Maya, sister, or other way?
No, we are lucky that we got a glimpse of Swami's divinity.
Yes,
and we are still in Maya, and that's why we are still here talking about all these stuff.
Yes. But anyway, thanks for the question, sister. We could discuss. Yes, Sister Bina.
Sai Ram, just wanted to add that both Kaushalya Ma and Yashoda Ma both had universe darshan in Rama and Krishna as well, the mouth. And both had a separation in their life from Yashoda had from Krishna and Rama. Kaushalya Ma has from Rama. Giving that at a very early point, this darshan could be the meaning of that in the future it is going to be, this is the divinity, I have it. So at that time it is time, it's awareness, it's like a sustaining that the pain not being at that kind of a, mother always have a love. So the separation love could be subside. So that was my point. And other thing I want to say that Swami, whenever he brought out the lingam and showed us, that is like the whole cosmic, whole universe in a lingam form. Every year Swami did it. So we are lucky to even see that. Probably I have not seen in real life, but many of them have seen that. So it is equal to, to all of us, that darshana of the universe. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Bina. Thank you very much. Yes, Rohit.
Sam, uncle, something that was mentioned earlier about how um, Mother Kausalya didn't have that privilege of knowing the Lord, had, being aware that the Lord has declared himself. So, 100% confirmed that this is indeed the Lord of the universe who has taken birth. So, but at the same time, wasn't the I was just wondering, during that time, was the dynasty, the Solar dynasty that was ruling the majority of India at that time, or Bharat, however it was called at that time. So were they seen at an spiritually elevated place in society? Because like for example, in their yagya, the Agni Devta Sakshatkar appeared and gave the payasam, which I'm sure did not happen very commonly there or happen to the common people. So was the family or the dynasty looked at as a spiritually elevated or somewhere even given a demigod status kind of thing at that time, or was it like a very normal occurrence for these things to happen where devtas would appear out of the fire to give prasadam like that? Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Rohit. Thanks for the question. I think Sister Aruna had raised her hand and then she has disappeared. And Brother Shankar also had raised his hand and dropped it. So anyone would like?
Sai Ram.
Yes, Sai Ram, Sister Aruna.
I'm trying to understand one more thing. Swami has declared in Ramakatha. So declaring that, and we come to know that opportunity. What is the really? I know Swami wants us to live in a way that he has given the teaching. Declaring to the devotees, I'm just thinking, what is Swami was expecting or Swami wants the devotees to do? Because while we are in the world, we have to live in the world, and at the same time, it's the only avatar he is declaring it to follow his teaching only. Is that the only one, or something more to it? Like, see, we cannot, because as per our karma, we are born in the world, right? So I'm just thinking, what is Swami's really he's expecting from the devotee or expecting from the expecting from the devotees. I'm trying to understand a little more about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sisters. So I think we have two questions now. One question from Rohit. Were people spiritually elevated in Treta Yuga that, from the fire, gods were appearing? How does it compare with Kali Yuga? I think that's the question. So maybe Kaushalya knew what his divinity is all about. I think that's something. Then Sister Aruna's question, okay, Swami is declaring it, then now what is he expecting us to do? Is it to follow his teachings? I think that's her question. I think the way I understood. Anyone who would
No,
like to?
only his teachings means like what is the real, like ultimate expectation? Like while we are living, so Swami said now he has declared himself as a avatar. Now, what is the really that the devotee has to do? Except Swami has given the teaching, but understanding his teaching itself is a ocean, so it cannot fathom everything. So, what is the ultimate thing, the essence of that? Swami is declaring that to the devotee.
Okay, sister, thank you. Yes, Sister Vani, please go ahead.
I think I'm trying to answer Sister Aruna's question. So Swami is declaring his divinity and saying that we are also divine, and he's expecting us to realize that we are divine as well, to know who we are. And he has established ways and teachings and all that for us to Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasnam to realize him and that we and he are one. So that's the whole purpose of his avatar.
Thank you, Sister Vani. Yes, Sai Satish. Yes.
Sai Ramana. To Rohit's question, I think it is more of, like they say, it is jan se nahi karm se, right? It's not by birth, it is through your action you become what you become. So whether Rama's birth came through the payasam from the fire, or whether Drishtadyumna, along with Draupadi, he was born of fire. So both were born of fire. Rama was born of fire. Drishtadyumna also is born of fire. But the way Rama lived his life made him Rama. The way Drishtadyumna lived his life, he became, at the end, he had to meet his end in whatever manner through Ashwathama. So it is more our action rather than just our birth. So there would have been people, many such yajnas, yagas, and people coming out of the fire kind of a thing. But ultimately, what it tells us is it is through one's own action, effort, and all of that that defines who they become. That is one aspect. And to Sister Aruna's question, this what Swami has said is, I am God, and I'm telling that you are also God. It's just that I know that I am God, and you have to know that you are also God. So in terms of that teaching, it doesn't stop with the first part of the statement. It is about the discovery of the second part of the statement, where we make the journey from, like Swami says, like you keep asking, who are you? Who are you? You should ask, who am I? So I think ultimately it should go back to that, which will essence, like what Swami says, my life is my message. So literally knowing, and then we should make our life his message. So the way we lead our life also reflects the message that Swami has always said. So I will pause here, Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Yes, Sitara.
Sai Ram Anna, I think to Rohit's question, I think I recall Swami mentioning in many discourses about the four yugas. And I think across yugas, any yuga we take, the Purusharthas have remained the same. And the goal of life has always been liberation. So I think for Krita Yuga, it is meditation or dhyana, which was prescribed as a means to liberation. In the same way, in Treta Yuga, I think yajnas are the major prescription given by Vedas, and hence all the gurus at that point of time, like Vasishta or anybody else at that point of time, always prescribed yajnas to achieve that, whatever is your desire, so that once you achieve your desires, then you can go for the higher desires. And I think hence in Treta Yuga, it was yajnas that we see. In Dwapar Yuga, it was lot of worship or archana. And in Kali Yuga, as we all know, it is Namasmarna. And hence we see Swami sitting right there whenever and wherever his songs are sung. So I think that itself tells that these yajnas are predominantly performed during Treta Yuga, and hence there is very deep and strong faith in all the people at that point of time that if we do yajna, we can see God or we can achieve what we want. Just like today, where we all strongly believe that if we discuss about Swami, if we think of Swami, if we sing for Swami, Swami is right here. I'll stop there. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sitara. So thanks. I think others have answered the question. Maybe I'll just summarize it. It's 10:15. So as Sitaram said, God appears through different forms of sadhana. Even in Kali Yuga, there are many devotees who have said that Swami has appeared in flesh and blood whenever they have called out to him. So God appearing to people in flesh and blood is a very common occurrence, even common in the sense it is an occurrence which has been witnessed by many even in this current Kali Yuga. So the process may have been slightly different. So you can say children are not born of fire. But then today scientists will say from test tube we are able to bring in vitro vital, all that is there. So there are many techniques which have been created by scientists also today. So there is no difference in how people are born, do different techniques. I think that has always existed. The technology differs from yuga to yuga. But as Sai Satish has pointed out, how we live and make use of our life matters. On the topic of spiritual advancement in the past ages, Swami has mentioned that in past ages, Dharma was followed a bit more by majority of the people. Not necessarily, you can say they've spiritually elevated everyone uniformly. We should understand that Ravana himself lived during that time, who was a Rakshasa and who had all desires of all kinds. So he was also tapasvi, but he was still had all the negatives also. So I don't think composition of people are any different. So even today with Namasmarana, we can actually, if we are real devotees, calling out to the Lord with so much yearning, I'm sure the Lord will appear in person. Swami says that's a must for Salokya Mukti. I think we discussed that at the retreat also. That mukha mukhiga you have to see. That means you have to see God face to face. Only then that is called Salokya, Mukti or Moksha. And so I think that's that point. Maybe we can discuss later. I think the second point, I think Sister Aruna's thing is, what is Swami expecting? I think Swami doesn't expect anything from anyone. Because if he expects, he is going to be disappointed. But the thing is, he has given us an opportunity. And the answer to this question is given in the Bhagavad Gita. Just after Sri Krishna gave the Vishwarupa Darshana to Arjuna, he is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, I have given you a glimpse of my form, which is actually yearned for by rishis and all great sadhakas and the devas. But I gave you a glimpse. But to make this your own experience, okay, you need to do something called Jnatum Drashtum Tatvena Praveshtum. That means you should know, you should get to learn and know more of it. Then you should need to be able to drashtum. You should have that vision of the Lord. Then you need to enter that principle, and that is the goal of life. That's the goal of all living beings through the many lifetimes of birth which we take. That's the ultimate goal. So all of us may be in different stages of that journey. The Lord has come to help us all so that we can progress towards that ultimate goal of being born and going back to the source. Wherever we have come from, we have to go back to that place, is what Swami says. I think we can discuss it later. That is actually Ramayana is the journey towards Rama. And the entire story itself is that, and hopefully Swami will guide us in our journey through appropriate guidance for all of us. So with those words, we will close for today with Samasta Loka prayer. Sai Ram. Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
So,